Hi there. So this is stream 4, and it's a continuation of stream 3, which was cut off. Um, I want to apologize for that. Uh, I should make better. I should make a better connection. Make sure that I have a stable connection before I do these. But right now, this is what I have to work with. So stream 3, I was getting into talking about fear, and I was getting to the point where I was going to talk about one particular event. Um, Basically, I was getting to the point where I was finding out. Hmm, Sorry, I'm just a little distracted. I want to make this extremely brief, actually, because um, I don't know when my housemates are going to come back. And it seems that when they're here, they use the internet, and that disrupts my usage of it. So, um, yeah, we're going to keep this a lot briefer than I had previously intended. But basically, I was at a neighbor's house, someone that I've made friends with, and I'm going to do some work for him. And we were talking, and I was not fully in the conversation. I was looking at my phone and checking out a website that shows listings for rooms. And I noticed that one of the rooms in the house where I'm living right now was opening up. And I thought that that's because my landlord was deciding to kick me out of the house. That's what I thought. And in that moment, I thought it's because he found out about, some issues like, you know, having had an attraction to children in the past. And I noticed that I had a fear response at that time. Um, hmm, Sorry, I'm just. I actually said I'm going back over the things I said in the last stream, which was cut off. I actually didn't know that it was cut off, and I was talking for a good 30 minutes, and all of that was lost. So that's really unfortunate. I don't know that I can give you the same quality as I had back then. Um, and then I'm also concerned that someone will, discover what I'm doing and saying again. But I'm going to throw some caution to the wind here and just keep going. So I looked at this website that showed that one of the rooms in this house was opening up. And it just so happened that it's opening up at the beginning of March, which is when I paid my rent through. I have a month to month lease, and I'm paid through to the beginning of March. And that's when the listing is dated for. You can move in at the beginning of March. So I started freaking out that all is lost and all is discovered about myself, and I'm going to be kicked out of the house. And I felt some fear in my upper body to my lower um, torso, kind of in the middle of my belly up to like my lower face, I would say. Um, I started feeling overwhelmed by fear. And it's interesting because this feeling, which I often try to avoid, in that moment, because I've been thinking a lot about fear, I noticed. I noticed it. And I even said to myself, that's fear, and I can just feel it. All I have to do is feel it. And I chose not to, actually. I didn't want to. And so instead of feeling it, I started intellectualizing. And what do I mean by intellectualizing? I started thinking, oh, it's not that bad. Even though I get kicked out, things will be all right. Um, Nothing bad's going to happen to me. No one's going to attack me. Um, I'll have enough money to get on by. I'll find the next situation. I also said that there's another housemate here who is going to be getting out here pretty soon. I don't know. I didn't know at the time when, but I thought I'll go ask him and make sure that he's the one that's leaving. If he's the one that's leaving, then the public listing, then the listing is not to do with myself. It's to do with him. And all of these things I did to hold back the fear. So it's just one other of the many things you can do to hold back fear. You can say, oh, it's all right. Doesn't really matter so much. People don't care so much about you, Theo. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Instead of feeling, oh, I might get attacked. I might get humiliated. I might um, lose my money. Maybe I'll get kicked out earlier than I should. Maybe I will be encouraged to leave because I don't want to be in a house for another month and a half or so. That where, I can be exposed to a lot of projections and bad feelings from the people that I'm with who already know I'm this bad dude. So, um, so I would be encouraged to just leave earlier, and then I would forfeit the money that I paid in rent. Of course, I could also demand that I'm repaid the money, but that's just a demand, and he doesn't have to honor that demand. It's also unloving. So, if I wanted to be loving, then I would just have to forfeit the money that I paid up until the end of February. So that's how I really feel. How I really feel is that financially I'll be insecure. I won't find a place that I can go to, or if I do, it'll be a bad place. All of these different fears were being experienced, were coming up for me at the time I saw that listing. And later, I discovered that it's possible that my housemate is actually leaving at the beginning of March. So the listing is probably for him. I didn't talk to my landlord yet, but I don't want to push him on it. And yeah, I feel like it's better in a way to just not know. And also, it could be that I'm avoiding a potential discussion about what my problems are because I don't want to talk about, these very personal things. So I guess the point of sharing this fear event is that I did notice for the first time in a while, if ever, that I was experiencing fear, and that's all that it takes. That event where I looked at that public list, that listing, um, brought up a lot of fear for me. And when that came up, I had the opportunity to feel it, and I chose not to. So what's going to happen is it's going to come back again, and it'll be stronger, and I will have the choice again to feel the fear or to avoid it. I suppose there's a lot more that I can say about all that, but I think I'll keep it there and I'll keep it really simple. Um, my understanding is that we get these opportunities all the time, that we have events that come into our lives that purposely trigger the fear that's inside of us. And it's to the point that if you didn't have fear, my understanding is events would be different for you. You wouldn't need events to be put in your path to trigger the fear. Um, we have a free will system that we operate under, and the way that works is you can do whatever you want. However, there are laws that we um, operate under, and one of those is the law of attraction, which is a loving law, which will um, expose the emotions inside of you and give you the chance to release or keep them stored in, and bury them even further. And we're always making that choice. So one thing that I mentioned in the last stream, which unfortunately was cut off, was that I'm I I'm able to notice how I'm making the distinct choice. Okay, my housemate's back, so I have to end this stream, but I'll just end it with saying this: I make the distinct choice every day to avoid my fear. And what if I made the distinct choice to love the process of feeling fear? How would my life change? So I'll continue at another point, and we'll leave it there for now.